Oh, we already got people in here, man. First off, want to apologize for being late. We about 30 minutes late. It was my fault, miscommunication. But we here, man. We here. We here to talk about the nonsense, fiasco, and just overall disappointment. What's got my co-host with me, Dark Griggity. What's going on? And notice I didn't say anything about the Addict show or the past, present, future because we talking about the present. This podcast. There ain't no past. There ain't no future. It's just the present. So what's going on? What's going on?
Oh man, what is going on, brother? It's rough out here for Xbox content creators, brother.
Yeah,
Damn.
and there's only gonna be one topic. This will probably only be like a 45-minute show because we got to talk about just the fiasco going on now. There's not really a whole lot to talk about besides that. I wouldn't go as far as say Xbox is dead. I'm sure that's just a troll. But it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So
They're not dead, but they're definitely different.
they're built different now.
They're different.
So, Dart, tell me, do you remember where you was when you heard about these studios shutting down? Tell me the play-by-play.
Yeah, I was in the bed. I believe somebody in my WBZ DM, Shaun, was like, "Yo, man, look at this." I was like, "Whoa. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough."
When you look at a situation like that, it's like the part that annoys me is like it didn't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have to go down that way. It's like, I think that's the part that annoys me the most, where it's like we were told. I can't even blame the people like me and you that really wanted this deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm starting to get to the point where it's like we was essentially lied to about what they were going to, like, maybe lied is a strong word because they never came out openly and said their plans with ABK. But I feel like every time an executive comes out, I'm 100% with people now. I know executives watch, IOP. I know executives come over here and watch occasionally. But I've gotten to the point with you guys. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't talk. Because if you don't know where the company's going to be in 60 days or 90 days or 6 months, don't come out and make statements on what you're doing now. Because I don't generally believe that, like, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, I don't generally believe they're intentionally lying to you. They're telling you what today and now's ideals are, what their wants are, what the company now is thriving for, and then in 6 months that all that shit changes. So it looks like they lied, but essentially they're like, okay, that was last week's, last week.
I don't think they lied at it. I don't think they lied. But go ahead and finish your point.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're telling you gently what was going on at that time. The problem is the company's philosophy on what they want to do in the gaming industry is changing so rapidly.
Yeah, I agree.
That it's impossible to stay in tone of what Microsoft 2018, including Xbox, and what Xbox now is. When they went back and they said, we want to use Game Pass to fuel further games and take more risks, that was probably a reality and what they generally wanted. But that's no longer the direction Microsoft wants to take gaming. And if Microsoft chooses to take gaming in a different way, that's obviously going to change Xbox's philosophy as well.
100%. Hey, added player that said something. Business realities changed.
Yeah,
I think he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Like, you made a great point. People pull up something that Phil said in 2020, something Matt Booty said in 2022, and that's probably how they really felt at that time. But like you said, things change all of the time. And as a guy that really loved talking trash about the ABK deal, last year was fun. At the end of the day, now that everything is finished and we're seeing what's happening, the ABK deal is changing the culture of Xbox
completely.
If we want to consider $70 billion, that's a lot of money. And I guess we feel, well, I can't speak for everybody. I'm speaking for myself personally. Kind of felt like, yes, Microsoft, boy, they about to be killing it, blah, 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 blah. I didn't consider $70 billion being spent is going to change some of the things Xbox is doing. We didn't think they will be possibly going multi-platform on most of their games. We definitely didn't think they will get rid of multiple studios from Bethesda, right? Like Bethesda, like, no, man, y'all bought Bethesda in 2020. Why you get rid of those studios? These are things we just didn't see coming. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody else. I mean, everybody else. I'm speaking for myself. I just didn't see it coming, man. So we're looking at there's no doom and gloom with me. Now, of course, there's always concern, but this is a different Xbox.
And not the same.
It's not the same, bro. It's definitely not.
John TJ says it's not Xbox, it's the investors. Look, I don't think Phil's responsible for the majority of stuff that's going on, but I do think, especially bringing, Xbox games to more platforms, that's kind of been the general ideal he's always went through. He's always said he didn't like exclusives, and the only reason he did it was because that's the way the game is played. I don't think Phil's on our side when it comes to that particular fight. Now, it might not be that for everything, and that's fine. But, I do think people need to understand that it's not that 100%. I do think there are some situations that is just out of Phil's hands. I think Phil went to one too many meetings and could not explain why he's not meeting metrics. One too many of them.
Bro, Phil's being destroyed right now. And honestly, I wonder how does he deal with it. Dr. Martin Van said, "Are you okay with all this? Doesn't any of this bother you?" Of course it bothers me, man. Of course it bothers me. It's definitely not a nothing burger. Of course it bothers me, man. But I'm not going to go out here and say F Xbox, turn into a pony. That's just not me. I will quit before I do that. I will quit YouTube and Twitter altogether before I go out there and do what some other guys are doing. That's just not me.
I almost hit up Tim Dog to ask him on so we can ask him his philosophy and his newfound way.
Listen, man. Yeah. Tim Dog, was always good, a cool dude to me. We take shots at him now because he's not, like I always say, the old Eric Bischoff from WCW. If you're not with us, you're against us. So we take shots at him. But Tim clearly knew something was going on. I still don't agree with the way he kind of just completely lost his mind, but that's his prerogative. He can do what he want to do. But so like what you asked me, Dr. Martin, like what his name was, Martin. Yes, it bothers me, bro. I mean, of course, I'm a guy that does console war. I do console war content. Of course, it bothers me, and not just because I do console war content, but as an Xbox fan, yes, it bothers me, bro. But you're not going to see me go out there flipping like some Xbox guys, posting memes.
Yeah,
Phil Spencer losing their mind. I'm not going to do that.
I will burn with the ship. Now, on my personal YouTube channel, I'm like restructuring a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it's not nothing new to my channel. My channel's always been different. Like I cover mainly Xbox stuff, but I've always covered a variety of everything. I remember when Elden Ring came out, I covered that a lot. I've always covered a variety of everything. So, I think I am going to step away from the like covering hardware and stuff and maybe business practices unless I'm passionate about what's being talked about. And I'm going to talk more about, Xbox's games in general. Like, think that's where I'm going to go with my personal channel, where I'm going to talk about Xbox's games. And what's funny is people are like, well, why don't you ever talk about PlayStation? Because I don't give two shits about PlayStation.
There you go.
There's a couple games PlayStation delivers that I'm passionate about, but that's all. Most of the games that I like that PlayStation has, they bought. Nothing to do with them.
Yeah. Adam, if you do me a favor, can you put this Dr. Martin Van, what's that, Nostrand? Last year. You don't have to quit Xbox, but why not call them out? They're on the BS. That's what pisses me off. Hold on, Addict. That's what pisses me off, man. Don't tell me how I should feel. Don't tell me how my reaction should be. That pisses me off about this community. Don't tell me how my reaction should be. Don't tell me if a family member died, I should cry how you cry. No, we're all different. Don't tell me how I should feel, man. That pisses me off.
The sad part is these people, what I don't like, and there's an individual, I won't go into names, but I didn't like this statement. They were pretty much blaming influencers talking about
You sound kind of muffled for a second, Addy.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good now.
They're essentially blaming Xbox for the studio shut. I mean, they're blaming the influence for the studio shutting down. And I'm like, what? They're like, oh, you should have been more understanding and like essentially saying that Redfall in the way that certain influencers handled Redfall was the reason the studio got shut down. No, the reason the studio got shut down is because they didn't make a very good game. It was buggy. It didn't work the correct way. Don't blame me for what they didn't do. I don't want them to get shut down. That sucks. But that's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, bro. It's like he said, I didn't tell you what to do. I said, why not? It's a question. It's okay. So you're asking me, why am I not reacting how you think I should react? That's what your question is. Why not call them out, Dirt? How do you know I haven't called them out?
Yeah, we call them out. That's always cap. Like, we always call them out.
I think he wants me to go out here and rant on Twitter or something. I'm not going to give you what you want.
Yeah,
point blank, period.
I do agree with you. I feel like people, they try to make sure that you're vocal. They want some of these people really want a bunch of like Tim dogs on Twitter.
They want
it's like, look, I don't got the energy. I don't got the energy.
They want it. They want all the bots to turn to Tim Dog. That's what they want at it.
Yeah, and it's just like at the end of the day, I don't got the energy, man. I just don't. Like, as sad as it is, Xbox be doing dumb shit so often. That's all I'm doing for my whole life. So it's just like, at this point, when I read that, let me go back to first off, I got a phone call. From J-Dub. Mm-hmm. So I wake up to a voicemail from J-Dub. I didn't even read it. I was like, J-Dub calling me at 10 in the morning? That ain't good for me. So the first thing I do go to Twitter. I'm like, oh God. So I'm just reading these, and part of the issue that I have with this is it goes against completely what they said Game Pass was originally designed for. Mm-hmm. Game Pass was supposed to be the platform that lets them take risks, the platform that lets them make different types of games. And I don't like the fact that they're getting rid of the people that make those games. When you shut down these smaller studios, it makes me think Compulsion's next. Undead Labs is next. And to a degree, Obsidian's next. And what's funny is it feels like now they're clout chasing for the biggest games they own. Okay, we own Call of Duty, we own Elder Scrolls, we own Fallout, we own Halo and Gears and Forza. If you ain't these games, you ain't getting made.
It's yeah. I mean, you're right, bro. It's I think it will be what's the word I'm looking for? Is it naive to think there's not a possibility? Like if South to Midnight releases and it doesn't do well, unfortunately, most of us will think about, I hope they're not on the chopping block, especially if it's a game that you love. It's, but at the end of the day, man, I know this is Xbox moment, unfortunately, and it's not a good moment right now. What's going on with the Xbox news? But we've seen a lot of this in the gaming industry this year. Hell, last week Rockstar closed studios. Ain't nobody said that much about it, at it. You know, to be honest with you. But I'm not trying to deflect. I'm just saying what's happening, what's going on. It's rough right now, man. It's really rough. It's a rough time. I'm saying that ABK deal that changed everything, bro. It changed everything.
I do, and I think ABK was the time where they looked at what ABK was making. Like, why aren't these other publishers making this money? Why isn't Xbox Game Studios Core making this money? It's like, because they all called you idiot. And that's the point. It's like, I feel like they're getting compared with literally you would say ABK is the biggest gravy train in the industry by far. You shouldn't be comparing your everyday studio to that. Imagine if we got to the point where they're only making like 2 different types of games. Like, I thought for a while we were getting to the point where we were getting away from that a little bit. But now it doesn't matter. Let's get these super chats.
Yeah, I was just going to say get the supers.
We got a $5 super chat from King Middleton. Do you think Satya don't believe in what Phil Spencer believed in?
I think Satya is just like, look, we spent $70 billion. We need to get that ROI ASAP. That's what I think.
I think Satya looked at the landscape and stuff and looked how much money they potentially think they could make. And it's like I said, they got their hands on the books for ABK and said, yo, the money this publisher is making is ridiculous.
Right.
Why ain't we making that? Bethesda, why ain't you making that every quarter? And I think you're seeing what you're seeing now. Yep. $2 for that from FBI agent. His picture's crazy. What the F? WTA Tim Dog was right. And Tim Dog was saying he knew stuff, man.
We always knew that Tim Dog has sources. As my boy people called him Tim Poodle. I still don't like the way he went about it, though.
I don't either. But you know, I do. I will say I'm not going to put Tim Dog's business out there. It wasn't just a console thing. There was a lot of personal stuff going on that's not been public.
Right. Absolutely.
We got a $10 super chat from Gamer Live Studio. Corporations are not your friend. They are in the business of making money. 100%. I'm a gamer who buys games. High Five Rush on it, and the same for PlayStation. I haven't bought not one PlayStation game since PS2.
Right, bro. They are not your friends. You're right about that.
And we're going to talk about that ideal in a second. Bulk with the $5 super chat. Dirt, don't fall for this pity party. Why is Xbox not allowed to run their business like everyone else? Yeah. Xbox bought Ubisoft 4 years ago. The industry changed. ZeniMax.
Damn, I was like, damn, Addy, they about to buy Ubisoft? I don't want to hear nobody. Xbox don't buy no damn body.
Bulk with the $10 super chat. Question for Dirt and Addict. Profit and growth driver for ZeniMax are now Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield. I would even debate if Starfield's on that list. ID at Software, Indiana Jones, Blade, and ZeniMax Online. Please explain why that isn't a great strategy. It's the same reason we attack PlayStation. These games take so long to make. You need stuff to fill in the middles.
You do.
Look what's going on with PlayStation. PlayStation said a couple years ago, we're going to start focusing on bigger titles to release better quality games. Now, that sounds amazing, and it is amazing. But as a platform holder, you can't just rely on the top of the crop to make you, and not necessarily make money, but you make your console appealing. You need the smaller games, and not to mention you always need to be producing newer products to see which one's going to go far with you next time. Because sooner or later, even though they have Elder Scrolls, all these games, and I agree with you, that's a lot of people are eventually going to get tired of that. What did you say of all those games? A lot of those games are what? RPGs to some degree. Sooner or later, people are going to hit a point where they don't want to play those games no more. Look what's happening right now with PlayStation. PlayStation made the same template for like a decade and a half, and no one ever had an issue. But I saw a lot of people when God of War Ragnarok came out that said maybe it's time to change this formula up a little bit because I'm kind of burnt out on it. I felt like God of War Ragnarok came and went in like a week.
Yeah.
At that.
Yeah. I love 2018. Ragnarok was good, but it something it just wasn't as good as 2018 to me. That's just my opinion. But I saw somebody said that PlayStation had third parties to fill the void, and they did do that. And I will always say that makes sense. Helldivers 2 is a second party game, and obviously that's the only one that did well, though. Well, like, we don't know about Stellar Cheeks yet, but the other ones didn't do well. Even the Bethesda timed exclusives that they had, Death Loop and Ghostwire Tokyo didn't do well. So, but they did gamble with it, and that's fine. But it's just like at a point where we just gotta just realize, not just Xbox, it's the gaming industry is different. We're going to get less of those big banger games that we love. They're going, bro. I saw Matt Piscatella. No, I'm sorry, John Linneman say earlier, for the last 5 years, bro, the same games have been at the top. Fortnite, Call of Duty, the sports franchises, Apex. The same games has been at the top of the sales list for the last 5 years. GTA 5.
And that's going to be the case going forward.
Absolutely.
There's too many scenarios now where you can't just say something anymore. You can't make content on stuff anymore. These games are so big, it doesn't matter how you market them. It doesn't matter how you do anything. All the Fortnite people could stop making content, and they could stop marketing Fortnite tomorrow, and the game would still flourish the way it's flourishing now. These games, they've ascended games. They're not really part of the gaming industry anymore. Sure,
they're something else now, right?
They're a multimedia conglomerate that is bigger than gaming.
Especially Fortnite, bro. Like the way they add celebrities to it. They have concerts. I remember that one concert. What's the rapper? Travis Scott. I never played Fortnite, but my daughter was playing the Travis Knight concert, and I was like, yo, that shit is fire. Bless you, brother. And the next time it was on, I said, I gotta play that and see it myself. It was awesome. And they had other concerts. So Fortnite they keep that game so fresh, bro, with the skins, the concerts. They keep that game so fresh. And it's, like you said, it's going to keep on being the top play game every year. That and Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is owned by Xbox now, so it's interesting.
And the problem with that is you're not going to replicate Fortnite. You're just not.
You're not.
You know how many companies have tried to replicate that damn game and failed?
Yep.
They were in the right place at the right time and made the right decisions.
Yep.
And apparently making the right decisions is every corporation's problem.
Yeah. Because
there's so much red tape to do any damn thing. They're having a hard time doing that. Someone pointed out, and I know we're all over the place. This is why this is one topic.
Yes, it is one topic.
Yeah, so we're all over the place, and that's fine. But they said, they brought up, I think it was Clover. He said they never learn, and he showed them shutting Lionhead Studios down, and they said years after that they regretted that.
Yep.
Do you think there's some truth in that? Do you think that, because my thing is, I understand they're going through stuff, and I understand that there's being some changes, but I'm just like, I do feel like every time that Xbox, I feel, is starting to finally sprout. They're finally getting their footing. They're going to do better. What ends up happening? They end up doing stupid stuff. And my biggest issue is the need for Microsoft to always be ahead of the curve. They're like, oh, we know the industry is going here and we're going to go there.
Yeah.
And let's look at 2013. 2013, they were convinced that everyone was going digital.
Right.
They did. But guess what? Microsoft bet their whole company and lost and took a huge hit of their company trying to dictate when that's going to happen.
They was right. They was just early, too early.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You could be first at a lot of things. Being first is very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes being first isn't what you should be doing. You should be building your own stuff, because to me,
it can be a gamble sometimes too.
What they should have done is understand that we're going digital and make more effort to become more digital friendly, to be there first, do the gifting, do all these things. And then if it comes to the point where next gen, then they do it. The problem is Microsoft steps in your house. It says, you don't need that box. You got this. You just plug this in. You play stream. And I'm like, I don't want to play streaming. Then too shit out of luck. You're doing it. Like they're too demanding on how you do things. They try to walk in and change the way people have done things for years. And they try to sit here and tell you that this is the way things are going. And they do go that way, but they did it when no one was trying to tell them it was going that way.
So you're right, but I see it as them being innovative, right? Original Xbox. I do
feel like there's better ways of being innovative.
True, but sometimes it works,
but it does work. It's one thing to go out there and make something like Xbox Live that just enlightens people, right, and it just gives them a newer way of playing games and a new way to communicate. It's another way to come out there and say, yeah, that physical shit you've been collecting, that physical shit that you've been doing for the past 20 years, yeah, we ain't doing that no more.
Okay, so the original Xbox with the broadband and Xbox Live, that worked. The Xbox One
that just heightened the experience. That wasn't necessarily something that they had to. They got shit for it. I agree with you on that, but it wasn't something that they were telling you straight to your face.
They were telling you something though.
But I don't consider telling you need broadband and telling someone that they can't even trade in games anymore. They can't do game shares. They can't do none of that anymore. I don't consider the two the same on like the surface level.
There are two different things. Definitely, they're definitely two different things. But that goes to my point. Sometimes being innovative worked, and with the Xbox One, it was a little premature.
I feel like
I'm sorry.
They got so used to. Sorry if I interrupt. They got so used to that working out in their favor that they are. See right there. Grand Tego XL.
Yeah.
Innovation sometimes requires proper timing. And
He's
I think
100% right.
Microsoft
100%
at this point has lost their mind with the timing. They feel like they could come in there and just tell you when it's going to happen. And that's not the way this goes. That's not the way market goes. I remember how bad the physical media shit was when it was going down. And even though that I didn't really care, because at that time I was pretty much physical media anyway, they did such a horrible marketing to explain it to people. You know, that what they should have been doing, because they had that family plan thing, they should have marketed the hell out of that. Like hell out of it. But unless I kept my ear to the ground, you didn't know about that. And the problem is, Smooth blames the media for 2013. I agree to a point, but their messaging was so bad, they gave the media the keys to screw them over.
And PlayStation ran with it too. PlayStation, they really hurt
That's
Xbox.
What they're supposed to do though.
No, I'm not mad at them. Listen, as an Xbox fan, I was like, ain't this damn. They definitely ran with it, and they took advantage of it. They did. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Nixie on something. He said this a while back, like 10 minutes ago. He said it's harder to grab the gamer's attention nowadays for something new. Back when we were talking about the Fortnite stuff, he's absolutely right about that. It is harder to grab their attention, and and he also said Alec and Dirt, the 2-year delay getting ABK deal didn't help the situation. I actually agree with that also. I think it was longer than what most people thought, including Microsoft and ABK.
I'm not entirely, me and Carl go back and forth on this. I think they knew it might take that long. It might not have been like the other 2 end of the metrics, but I do think they expect, okay, we'll be out of here in like a year, but it might be 2 years. We don't think it's going to be 2 years, but it might be 2 years. Because to me, Microsoft probably got the best lawyers in the business. And the moment those opening conversations with. There ain't no way those lawyers didn't look at Microsoft and be like, yeah, this might take a little bit. Like,
yeah, I see. Who was that? Marquise Johnson said Dirk Field needs to go. It's been 10 years at this point. Listen, you got your own opinion. My opinion is, Xbox has come a long way. Yes, I know it feels weird for 10 years, and to think about how many studios they've had when he first started to now, I mean, that is growth. But right now we're at a point where the investments now is causing change at Xbox, and some of the changes, some of us, we don't like.
All right, so I don't know if you saw this, but this is starting to go around. I didn't really want to talk about it until we got some like conjugal proof, and we still don't have any, but let's talk about it. This tweet. Hey, do you see it?
Yeah.
The Verge, Microsoft had an internal debate on whether or not to put new Call of Duty release on Game Pass day one. Xbox is also considering another price increase for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Hellblade 2 being considered for PlayStation 5. What you think? What's going on?
I heard about the Hellblade thing a couple months ago.
No, you got to say it the right way. I heard a rumor.
Okay, I heard a rumor about the Hellblade thing a couple months ago. Well, I can't say it. Yeah, around the same time, all of that third-party stuff, I heard a rumor about Hellblade 2 a couple months ago. The Game Pass thing, I'm not surprised a Game Pass price increase, especially with ABK. But I'm sorry, like, did you just read something about Call of Duty going to Game Pass? Because I totally blank.
Yeah, it said they had an internal debate on whether or not to put it in day one Game Pass.
I wholeheartedly believe that, because Call of Duty is a massive franchise, and now the Xbox owns them. They get 100% of the profit from the Xbox version sold. So I do believe that, and I do believe they had that discussion. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. Like, maybe they, like me and my boy Shaun was talking about this earlier. What if they're thinking about upping the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, making Call of Duty? Yeah, you can get in the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate only. I know that would rub a lot of people the wrong way. It's still cheaper than paying $70 for it, but they're going to do something, in my opinion, with Call of Duty that's going to be different. I don't think they're just going to put it in Game Pass. I think they are going to put it. I mean, they will put it in Game Pass, but the price is going to increase.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if that goes in Game Pass or not. I kind of, we've talked about it. I personally feel like they've been going away from Game Pass, but being public that they're still going with Game Pass. Because if you look at the past few years, it used to be everything at the shows is in Game Pass day and date. Mm-hmm. They used to plant to that shit everywhere, and they stopped doing that like years ago. And now sometimes they don't even tell you it's in Game Pass till after the show. It'll be like on Twitter or something. Mm-hmm. So I do think that, they're still going to focus on Game Pass, but that's not their focus anymore. Because if they were focusing on Game Pass, it wouldn't even be a discussion if Call of Duty is going to be in that sucker or not.
Yeah, Nixie actually been on point today. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like you said, Addict Dirt, maybe COD on Game Pass premium plan, something. I mean, we're just brainstorming here, but I do believe there will be something like that, bro, because they will be leaving a lot of money on the table putting Call of Duty in Game Pass. I'm just being honest. I don't know, man. It's kind of hypocritical to say all first-party games are going to the Game Pass, except for Call of Duty. You got to pay extra. So I don't know. It's just crazy at this point, man. I don't even know what to even say anymore. The super chat.
All right, so yeah, let's get the super chats, and then we're going to talk about something crazy. Find out from John TJ. Poor Phil, the suits are taking over. I will blame him if he retires early. I wouldn't blame him.
Bro, Phil is getting a beating, bro. He is getting destroyed. He is getting destroyed.
Noticed he didn't tweet yesterday.
He didn't, and he was trending yesterday, bro. Like, I don't know, like he still might be trending.
Dude, I feel like he trends every week.
Yeah, boy, he be getting.
Dude, Phil Spencer is probably more popular than Drake right now. $10 super chat from Nerds and the Other Legends. I think the business of making money is at odds with the business that relies on bustling creativity and creative teams. It feels like Microsoft is not steward to reconcile this. Okay.
Reconciled it.
Reconcile. Yeah, my bad.
That was a nice picture, man.
What was this picture?
Just like him and his girl. So.
Oh. Cowboy with the $5 super chat. From the online discourse, you think they completely gutted Bethesda, but that is still with some minor but unfortunate changes.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that in a second.
Yep. Okay.
Jay Rampart with the $10. Okay, now I'm concerned. This is the second or third town hall within the past couple of weeks, potentially raising Game Pass. Booty leading the town hall and not Phil. Something doesn't seem right.
There's some changes, Jay. Remember, well, like don't forget, Matt Booty is over all the studios. You know what I'm saying? He's over all the studios, so let him do the talking. Phil is his boss, so let him do the talking. But I mean, listen, man. I mean, Xbox is still going to be around. I know people still want to say they're dead. You can say the console war's dead. That's fine, but people still want to say Xbox is dead. They're not going to be dead. They're still doing consoles. Like me, I'm in the ecosystem. I'm not going to leave the ecosystem. But there's definitely some changes happening clearly. And a lot of things are going to be different moving forward, man. As long as we notice that, we realize that you can make your decision to stay on that Xbox side, be an Xbox gamer, or you can make your decision to go elsewhere. That's up to you. But don't tell me what I should do. That's what pisses me off at it.
Yeah. The thing is, let's go into these studios. Okay, so they shut down Roundhouse Studio, Alpha Dog, Austin, Arcane Austin, and they shut down Tango Studio.
Yep.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how bad would you say this is for Xbox?
Scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, or 1 being the worst? 10 being the worst. I say as far as the studios, I say a 6. With the exception of Tango. I think that's the one that hurts people the most.
I actually feel like if Tango wasn't on this list, they wouldn't have got this much of a backlash.
I agree. Tango was the one that hurt people the most. So I'd say a 6, maybe possibly a 5, because Roundhouse, they were like, what were they doing? I don't know what Roundhouse was doing, but they the studio, they didn't get fired.
Yeah,
they just merged with ZeniMax. Yeah. Alpha Dog, they did what was the Doom game called? Something Doom mobile game. That didn't do too well. I can't think of the name of the Doom game. Come on, guys, tell me in the chat. The Doom mobile game. Well, anyway, it didn't. Yeah, Doom mobile, but I can't think of the name of it. It didn't do well.
It's literally called just Doom Mobile.
No, it's a name. I can't. Mighty Doom. Thanks, Rock. Mighty Doom.
Mighty Doom.
Thanks, Phantom Death. It didn't do well. They let them go, unfortunately. Arcane Austin. That was, Redfall. We talked about Redfall when it dropped Addict last year, and I was saying, there's some things I like about the game. I like the environment, the town itself, going, the homes, the ambience, but the game wasn't great. And you said I just didn't like it, right? But Arcane Austin, unfortunately, man, they got let go, and I hate it. I wish they could have, merged with Arcane Leon, but that didn't happen. They let them go. And Redfall was kind of something that, damn, I wish that game could have, been better, because it really had potential to me. And, it is what it is. So the one that hurt the most, I think, out of a lot of people was Tango Gameworks. It was a Japanese studio. Xbox said they wanted a Japanese studio. They let them go. Hi-Fi Rush, great game. I finished it, loved it. It didn't do well, bro. I remember when Jeff Grubb said that, some of the Xbox homies, like, hey, shut up, Jeff Grubb, you POS and blah, blah, blah. And then Aaron Greenberg kind of came out and said, no, it met all our metrics and did this and did that. And I think in reality, it didn't do well. It definitely didn't do well on PlayStation either. and it was such a great game. But sometimes it just, and we didn't want to see that studio go anywhere, man. I don't like to see studios, period. Even when PlayStation let go of some studios earlier in this year, you don't want to see that, man. Because I'm a gamer first. Before I'm an Xbox gamer, I'm a gamer. But it's unfortunate what happened, man.
Yeah. All right. So I actually think this, like, scale wise, this thing's only like a 5 or a 4. I don't think the studios themselves is the issue.
Yeah, I say a 5.
I don't feel like they made anything momentum enough to change the needle, and I don't think they ever was going to. I think they were a solid studio that made solid games.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But these studios scream the way the Xbox that Phil and them were telling us that they were going towards. They wanted smaller studios to take more, agile games, make high quality, low people games, pretty much high quality, less people they can. And that's what these studios did. You can't come out there and say stuff like, we want to use Game Pass to offset the cost so we can take more risks and make smaller games too, and then start closing down those studios. You can't come out there and say we need more studios in like court proceedings and then shut down those studios.
I think when they said those things, they meant it. I think ABK changed all of that, Addict. I really do.
The sad part about it is these games and these studios, I do feel like they could have eventually made something really good. Now, I don't know if it would have ever pushed the needle because there's a lot of things that goes into that. But I do think they would have made games that resonated with people and people loved. And the sad part about it is that's not going to happen now. I was hoping that this is my conspiracy. I almost made a video on it. Thank God I didn't. I had a conspiracy in my mind that Team Leon was working on Dishonored this whole time because it was on that leaked list. Remember?
Yeah, it was.
And they were going to make Dishonored, but then they got the IP for Blade and then they're like, okay. Because if you remember, they forced Austin off of Redfall because that game definitely should have been in the oven longer. They put that game out there for a reason. I thought it was, we're going to take the hit on Redfall. It's going to be a huge hit, but they need to be on Blade, and we can't waste their work on Dishonored. And they were going to pawn off Dishonored to Austin. Even though people say, "Oh, dude, why you trust them working on Dishonored?" Because they made the first one. They helped make the first one. People don't know this.
They helped make the first one, right? The first two, I believe.
Both Dishonored games used to both the studios of Arcane used to be one studio.
Mm-hmm.
And they made Dishonored 1. And then they split. Leon made Dishonored 2, and I believe the other team made Prey.
Prey.
If I remember correctly, that's how it went.
Yeah.
I trusted Austin to make Dishonored. Because if there's any game on this earth that I felt like they would hit out of the park, it was the game they made years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was hoping. I was hoping in the end they were working on Dishonored 3. Now, okay, go.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. The only thing though, like Fred 420 that said that Jason Schreier article, 70% of the team left after doing Prey because they did not want to do Redfall because initially, remember, Bethesda wanted Redfall to be a live service game, and those guys did not want to do a live service game, and 70% of the team left.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I think maybe I wonder how many people actually got laid off in the end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we got a number of that? A number of how many people got laid off officially?
No, I don't know the number. I don't know. I do know that the mobile team that made the Doom game, That was 25 people.
Now you know what should have happened? What should have happened is this June showcase, Dishonored should have showed up on stage, and they should have said, we're putting people back where they want to play, where they want to develop, and announcing that they're working on Dishonored 3. They're like, look, I get it. These games are at the end of the day, these games aren't going to make a lot of money, if any. I don't know if it's true, but I was told that Hi-Fi Rush did make profit, just not a lot.
No,
because it didn't take much for that game to be made in the first place. And to me, you're criticizing. First off, they bought Bleeding Edge. That got a pass, I guess. Ninja Theory didn't go nowhere. I just personally felt like even Austin
made that.
Yeah. I just personally feel like even Austin, they deserved another game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like it was rumored for a while that they didn't even want to work on Redfall. Yeah, and some of them went to Lyon to not work on it. And it's frustrating because it's like this studio could have did something good for you. It is what it is at this point. So the question I have for you, Dirk.
Yeah.
Let's say, because there's rumors there's more closing. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a potential one from your perspective? Because I'm curious what you have to say. I got my own. I don't think we're going to pick the same one.
Did they say more studios are closing or just more layoffs?
More layoffs, but I would assume that that's a studio.
I don't know, man. I see Greg Jackson say Double Fine.
No, I think Double Fine is okay because Double Fine is actually very efficient at what they do, and I don't think they'll let them go yet.
Yeah, and plus their games are critically acclaimed. I don't know, man. They got so many damn studios. Maybe
Kim
somebody
Cruz
on
made a good
side.
point. He said Ninja Theory is next because there's no marketing or anything. It's not like they're investing nothing in Hellblade.
Yeah,
that does make a lot of sense. Why would you put more money into a game that you don't think the studio? Because there's supposed to be 3 of these games. It's supposed to be a trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, didn't Aaron Greenberg last week say they were going to start marketing this week? It is Wednesday.
That's still horrible, though, man.
Yeah, like that they even had to say it.
No, it's that we're going to start marketing. Even if they marketed this week, you mean they were just going to market the game for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean it's Wednesday. I mean, but that's better than no market. It's Wednesday, so let's see. Let's see what happens if they start marketing it tomorrow or Friday or whatever. He said it, so I'm assuming he ain't gonna lie about it.
I feel you. Let me get these super chats.
I like how these guys are just saying, right, like for a fact. Your Ninja Theory is done. Double Fine is like, shut up. You don't know nothing.
I think it's them.
Who? Ninja Theory?
No, I just tagged it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the initiative. They've had so many issues, and it's still rumored that the game is in like tragedy still. Yeah. I would be devastated if they shut down that studio before it got out there.
Without giving them a chance to see. Yeah, that just goes to show you how tough it is to build a game from the ground up, bro. Especially nowadays with a brand new studio. Build a studio from the ground up, I should say. And they had to get Crystal Dynamics. And Crystal Dynamics is this quality studio. I wonder what went wrong, man. Well, I don't know, man. If this is true, but Jeff Grubb seems to know his stuff. So we'll see what happened. But then I could have sworn Matt Booty last year said he played Perfect Dark, and they could have showed it last year. Hey, man, don't talk about my hairline, you POS. Mexican Zoidberg. We'll see what happens, man. But I hope not, because I like Crystal Dynamics. So, hey, Greg Jackson, what's your problem with me, man? What's your problem? Ninja Theory is done. Stop coping, Dirk. Are they done? Do you know that for a fact? No, so shut your punk ass up, Greg.
Yeah, I actually feel like Ninja Theory is one of the least probable ones because I think they're going to want to give that third game.
Yeah, man. Because
they already pretty much said that that's a trilogy. They might cut it before it, but they have a lot of hope in the Ninja Theory. I mean, they chose to show Hellblade with the Xbox that we have right now, like this thing here.
Yeah, in 2019. Xbox. Yeah, and they've shown it. They shown 2019 that first trailer. They showed it in 2021 at the VGAs when remember she was fighting that big fat troll thingy. They showed it at E3. The game showcase 2023. Then they showed it again at the VGAs last year, and then they just showed it at the Xbox Developers Direct. So they've been showing the game a lot. I don't know, man.
At the end of the day, we're just gonna have to see.
Hey, Frank, you shut up too, Frank Kent. you and Greg can both shut up, you pieces of trash.
Let's get these super chat. $5 super chat from Bounty. Let's do the math in simple terms of involving COD. 70 times 100 equals 7,000. That's people buying COD. 120 times 100 equals 12,000. That's people joining Game Pass in the same year plus extra. I feel you, but that means that they're like, you're guaranteed that they're going to do it. I don't know. I understand what you're saying. Like, logistically, giving a lower entry gets more people in, so they make more money in the long run. But I think that's been their mindset this entire time, and it's not working.
Yeah. Shut up, Greg.
$20 super chat from
Muhammad Kamari.
Muhammad Kamari. Microsoft said in their last quarter earning mergers and acquisitions led to growth. They clearly plan on getting more studios. They are making room for that. It's sad these studios had to be collateral. More studios coming. Yeah, I think that, look, I don't think that these studios being shut down is the end of the world. But at the same time, I do feel like these studios being shut down does one thing. It screams to investors and people that they can work with or buy studios. Don't let us buy you because we might shut you down in 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. 2, I do think the way Japanese culture is, I think we haven't heard the end of this Tango fiasco because I think it's going to heavily affect them in the East, especially in Japan. Damn. I'm kind of curious if these studios and publishers would even make deals or work with Microsoft after that, because the Japanese look after their own. Yeah. And when you lay off like 200 people, or how many people is working there, 80 something, they're going to remember that. Especially when you got vets that's worked at Capcom, vets that's worked at, other studios, Capcom, Square Enix. There's so many people going around over and over that. It's just not a good look.
Hey, yo, Carl Weave, I was just about to bring that up, brother. These guys in here like Greg. Hey, Greg Jackson. I don't remember seeing your name when PlayStation closed studios. I mean, Addy did a show earlier this year. I don't remember seeing you in here talking nuts, saying nothing, punk. I don't remember you or anybody, your other ponies coming in here saying anything. So Carl Weeby, exactly right, bro. Why is it? Let me ask you this. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to deflect what's going on because we've been talking about it for 50 minutes, damn near an hour. Why is it Xbox gets much more scrutiny than anybody else? Now, like EA had layoffs, right? Rockstar bought, like, who they buy? I forgot who they bought, but they closed a bunch of studios a couple weeks ago. Not as much scrutiny. PlayStation had layoffs. They shut down London studios. They shut down Japan studios a couple years ago. They laid off people from Insomniac. They laid off a lot of people, but you didn't hear the same venom towards them. Is it because Xbox is Microsoft? I mean, or is it just the Xbox hate? That's a question I'm really curious about because you don't hear the same venom. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like Phantom 2K. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So Genshi just put on Twitter saying Hi-Fi Rush Studio, Tango Gameworks, and Arcane Austin were closed due to Microsoft forcing ZeniMax to consolidate ZeniMax. ZeniMax ended up choosing to let go of the studios that were pitching new ideas, new projects, and trying to hire new staff. Tango was in the process of pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2. Matt Booty praised Hi-Fi Rush on Wednesday, but did not specifically say why they were shut down. Booty says studios that have been spread too thin like peanut butter on bread and that leaders across the division have felt unstaffed. Tango and Arcane were looking to hire additional staff as they pitch new projects. ZeniMax to focus more on fewer projects, more Xbox more Xbox cost cutting is expected.
Yeah. I actually read that before the show. What you just read. Listen, man, a lot of companies are really, I don't like to say trim the fat, but I think they're making tough decisions. Hey, game time, you better show some damn respect. Don't ever call me the Puff Daddy or nothing, you punk. They're making tough decisions. Now, let me ask you this. Jeff Grubb had a podcast last night where he said, I actually clipped it. He said that because his son, excuse me, his partner said, do you think those studios, specifically Tango and Arcane Austin, would have shut down if Microsoft didn't buy them? And he said, absolutely. They would have been.
Oh, they would have been done. They would have been done years ago.
He said they would have been closed years ago.
They would have been shut down if Microsoft didn't buy them. The whole reason.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I don't really go at Microsoft too much for these, is because they were getting shut down without Microsoft. There's no denying that. And to say that that's not what was going to happen is being delusional. Those studios would have been shut down if Microsoft didn't buy Bethesda.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke say, I'm delusional. Dirt, you're delusional. Oh, yeah?
What are you delusional about?
I don't know. Guess because I'm a bot, I guess. I don't know. Hey, game time. Didn't I tell you don't say oh, man. Yeah. There, you know what? Yeah, so Jeff Grubb said that. He said that on this podcast last night that they would have been closed. Yeah, and like you just mentioned it. Their games, you know what? Prey flopped, unfortunately, because I loved Prey. I love Prey. Finished it. I didn't think Redfall was that bad either. I actually finished Redfall. I give Redfall like a 7, right? I finished it before it got to 60 FPS mode. And Tango Gameworks, Hi-Fi Rush.
No, you should get a lawsuit because you finished that game at 30 frames.
Hey, man, come on, man.
Microsoft should have to pay you for that.
Be nice, man. But Tango Gameworks, Hi-Fi Rush, Ghostwire Tokyo, those games didn't do that well. The Evil Within 2, which was a phenomenal game, didn't do that well. Part 1 did okay. Part 2 just didn't move the needle. I don't know why, because that game was great. Yeah, A-Rodimus, Ghostwire didn't do well. It was, like PlayStation guys don't play games like that.
I think people need to realize that it's like I said, these studios being shut down isn't the issue. It's the future and the way Xbox they were spinning the brand.
Yeah.
Because these studios is the studios that people thought of about working on smaller projects and getting unique experiences. And the fact that it's like I said, I'm convinced if Tango was not on that list, they would not be getting a fraction of the hate they're getting right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Now, game time, I see what you just said about what that dude said about me. Now, are you just telling me he said that, or are you hyping him saying that? Please respond, because I got something to say to you if you're a big fan of him and you know. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Oh, you talking to me?
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can go ahead. I'm just looking at the opponents in here. I should block all of y'all, but y'all lucky it ain't my show. Hey, game time. Why don't you come to my podcast tomorrow and see how quick you last?
Just time them all out.
See now, do you see this? Do you see this? Look what this guy said. Dirty as a P file. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, go and get him out of here.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, get him out of here.
Are y'all King Thrash boys?
Yeah. So someone don't time him out. Get him out of there.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, the sad part is
I'm really just having fun right now. Then you got Pony saying stuff like that. Do you see what I'm saying about them?
The sad part is like they feel like they can't get to you, so they have to like say the most outlier stuff that they feel like they'll be able to get in a reaction from.
I saw because J-Dub came after me yesterday, right? I don't really rock out with J-Dub like that. I know you cool with him. Whatever. I don't have a need to be friends with him. So he, said some stuff. He said, why are you taking this so serious? Stop crying. So then that guy that he mentioned, he said, what he said, he blocked me. I blocked that guy because he said that stuff about me playing Roblox with kids. And that's some stuff he just don't play with, right? Now this dude gonna sit up here and say this in his chat. Now you see why I be blocking these ponies?
Yeah, and that was probably a burner account too. All right. My next question to you.
Look at this shit.
What? Someone else said something?
Yep. Don't play with that, bro. Don't play with that.
Yeah, you guys need to stop that. You're gonna
That's
get hit.
the shit. Listen, bro. That's the shit right there. You don't play with, man.
We'll sit here all day and hide you guys. It's nothing. Just sit here and click 2 buttons.
That's the stuff you don't play with, man. If we're gonna talk about gaming, y'all throwing shots at me about gaming, you can do that all day. But when y'all start saying stuff like that King Thrash said, it pisses me off. You don't play with stuff like that, bro.
That's not trolling. That's like being taking like serious situations and trying to project it on people.
Prince Green, did you hear what he said about me, bro? Y'all want to ignore everything? Yeah, him. Frank, I'd be more pissed about Xbox than what people are saying.
You guys need to calm down. Or the people in the chat need to calm down.
These dudes that say, "Oh, calm down, bro." Did you hear what they said about me in this chat? Hey, you want me to calm down? No.
You talking to me?
No. I'm talking to
I told the chat to calm down.
I'm telling you, bro. Do you see what's going on?
Is there any more dumb stuff going on? Yeah, this is definitely way too over the line, guys. We're gonna have to calm down now. No, don't take trolling to that level, because that's not trolling. That is way beyond trolling. So what we're gonna do is, hold up. I got something for you guys. I don't know how to do it, but I got something for you guys. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, get that with, guys. Oh, now I permanently sniped you guys. All right, so my last thing, Dirt, and then we'll head out of here.
All right.
Do you think this has to do a little bit? What do you think the core issue of Xbox is?
The core issue right now?
Yeah, what do you think the core issue is?
I think the core issue is communication. I still think they're trying to figure out the direction they want to go now that they have ABK. So I would say communication, marketing, messaging. That's what I say the core issue is.
I think when it's coming down to it, the biggest issue that we're having is they keep changing what they're doing. And I think that's the biggest issue. The communication keeps getting mixed up. The direction of the company gets getting mixed up. And if you consistently keep changing this back and forth and you're not keeping your mind on one thing, they should have at least tried the original idea of buying ABK, because that's what they were building up to all those years.
Right.
But when you pivot so rapidly, so fast, you're going to get situations like this where they're making choices that they think's right because they're in the moment, but in the hindsight of things, it's not the right thing.
Right. And yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. It's just like we're here now because I don't know, man. This is kind of crazy at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think things will get better. I do. Unfortunately, this Xbox Studio Showcase thing has gotten pretty intense, but I do convince things will get better.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Well, what you got going on, Dirt? What's your next thing you doing?
Well, I'm doing my podcast tomorrow. Having a good time with that. That's about it, bro. I know a lot of people that's in here right now. Hold on.
Yeah, we had a good show out today.
Yeah, man. Until these guys piss me off, bro.
Yeah,
it's for real.
Unfortunately, the trolls, man. What they do is they'll make a dummy account, and they will start saying outlandish stuff with that dummy account.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that you don't play with, bro. You don't play with
I agree.
that, man.
I agree.
And that's the problem I had with that dude, man. Like, we can do console war stuff all day, bro. But when you say stuff like that, just because Roblox was played for an hour on my account, on my gamer tag,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
You check then it's played for an hour, and then now you got your people that listen to your dog shit channel saying this crap in here.
Yeah, what's funny?
That's something I don't play with, bro. I don't play with that.
They follow us around.
Yeah,
I don't get why people can't just leave people be. Yeah, and that's the problem, Dirt. When you make content revolved around other people instead of making content on your own merits, because you are too busy trash talking other people to make content than making your own content.
Yeah,
we got a $5 super chat from Ice Rizzo. A lot of people use Microsoft closed studios when the problem is gamers keep buying the same big titles. Look at Remedy and Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, man, that game didn't do well enough. I enjoyed it. Listen, the casuals are buying the same games, bro, and that's the world we live in. And unfortunately, like Alex said, it's going to continue.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna send you guys over there to my Hellblade stream. You guys have a good day. We will see you next week. And
all right, brother.
Yeah.
Peace out, y'all.
Damn it. No, we're not going yet.
Okay.
I accidentally did something wrong.
Bless you.
I was on the wrong thing.
Oh. The show's still live.
Yeah, it's live. I didn't send them to the right thing yet.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. And I'm
you got the
sneeze. You know, like when at the beginning of the year, when like the weather changes, like you start getting like really bad, like sneezing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that.
It's happening to you now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, it's this one. All right, now I'm sitting you guys. See you guys.
Peace out.